Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
My name's Adele Onyango, and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Hey you, welcome to episode 336 of Legally Clueless. This is what's coming up.
The church doesn't allow you to wear trousers. You're not allowed to plait your hair. You're not allowed to pierce your ears. You're not allowed to wear clothes that are not pleated. You're not allowed to apply nail polish. You're not allowed to do anything that involves makeup. Usually the hair is supposed to be seen by your husband. One of us was doing a wedding, and then her wedding was with an Akorino, the first ever seen. We had a photo shoot instead. I know most people have seen that photo. It trended. I had worn a short dress. It was tight. I'm telling you, that photo brought drama. We were called for a meeting. The bishop, the elders of the church, both women and men, the youth pastor, the youth leader was also there, the chairman and the chair lady, and then us and our parents. We were called to explain why. Why did we wear those clothes?
That is Karima's story. Part one of her story is coming up, and trust me, it is one that you absolutely have to listen to. But before we get to that, thank you so much for being part of this family. If you're an OG member, I absolutely love you. If you're a newbie here, welcome to the family. Audio episodes of this particular show go out every single Monday. On Wednesdays, we have the midweek teas. Thank you for showing it so much love. On Thursdays, we have audio episodes of For Mannerless Women that are completely different from the video episodes of For Mannerless Women that go out on our YouTube, also on Thursday. And then Fridays, we have a seasonal show called Ask a Therapist. And another thing that you get a lot, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm just like, hey. Another thing you get on Wednesdays is our newsletter. So sign up so that you're officially part of the family. You can do that on our website. That's legallycluelessafrica.com. And the last thing you need to do if you love TikTok and Instagram is join our cozy corner of the internet. Legally Clueless Africa is where you can find us. Away from that, I hope you are doing well. I actually want to hear from anybody who took my advice and downloaded the app called Gratitude. I feel like I've told you about it pretty recently. Have I? I think I have. It's a mobile journaling app. All right. So you journal on your phone. You decide what areas you want to work on, and it generates prompts to help you journal with prompts. For me, I prefer journaling with prompts rather than just like free journaling, because free journaling, I'll just keep going around in circles with whatever is either stressing me, or I'll just keep going down the rabbit hole of my spiraling thoughts, right? But the reason I bring this up is I know currently life is super overwhelming across all fronts, right? And I acknowledge that, and I think that's very valid. This app, oh my God, is really helping me. Like, I haven't had an app have such a huge impact on my gratitude levels, my calmness, grounding me in the present. Because one of the things I wanted to work on was gratitude. I think I picked about 4 things I wanted to work on when I signed up for the app. And let me tell you, it's really just showing me how much we take for granted. First, can I just say, this is not a sponsored anything. I don't even know who the heck made the app, to be honest, right? But, oh my goodness, it's really just like we take for granted simple, complex things like seeing a sunrise, having food in your house, right? To the friends who call you up to just check up on you, or the kind person, like I was in the market on Saturday, and like I have specific women I buy stuff from because like I buy the same things every week. So I go to the specific women to buy the things, and all of them gave me like one extra free thing. Like, and I was just like, this is so kind. This is so kind. Or I have my mechanic this side is helping me, fix up my older car. He came on Saturday morning unprovoked just to wash it. Like, he was just like, you know what? I saw that it's looking a bit dusty. So, they're just like small things that happen to us that are so kind, and they're things that we should be so grateful for. But because they're not, what we're socialized to believe big things are, we tend not to be grateful for them or even like recognize them. Please, gratitude is changing my life. It's changed my life. Like, I think I'll do an entire episode on it a little later down the line, but like, however you can, for me, it's this app, but however you can, just bring back gratitude into your life. That's the message I feel compelled to share with you in this episode. Anywho, let's jump into 100 African stories. So we're stepping into part 1 of Karima's story. It's layered, it's emotional, and it's just so powerful, right? So she was born into the Akorino faith. From the moment she entered the world, obedience was a command. What she could wear, the places she could go, etc., was all linked to this faith. And so her story really speaks to identity that someone can get forced into from birth and what happens when the urge to be your full self refuses to be silent. 100 African stories on Legally Clueless. Stories from Africa.
My beautiful name is Lily Kimemia. Most people know me as Karima. I was born and raised at a place called Lower Kabete in a family of 5 children, the third born in that family, in an Akorino family. Like the dad, the mom, the kids. Sisi wote ni Akorino. It's a place where you are born and then unafungwa kitambaa. Ukizaliwa tu leo, kesho we ni Mugorino. Like there's no choice of ati do you want or not. Kufungwa kitambaa, I mean like tying the turban, being tied a turban. I went to school at a place called Parklands Primary. That is where I schooled for my primary school. But I also transferred to another school called Ndurarwa. So when we were growing up, when I was at Parklands Primary School, I think the school didn't really bring us to a realization that we were really a Korino per se. Because of the children there, it was easy to gel in with the kids. It was easy to adjust. There were so many, I think, religions. There were Muslims, there were Hindus. So it was something that was not very unusual. But when we went to Ndurarwa Primary School, hey! Jesus! So the first day we go, we arrive. And then we were told to wait outside the staff room for the teachers to tell us where our classes were. I was at class 6, and then my brother was in class 7. My younger sister was in class 4. My youngest brother was in class 2. We were standing outside the staff room. And then it was around, I think, either break time or lunch time. But the bell rang and the children were supposed to go back to their classes. Outside the staff room, all the kids came, like behind us and in front of us. They stood there, they started staring at us. I had never seen such a thing. And then when I got to my classroom, I got students sitting on top of the desks just to see me entering the classroom. They stared. It's as if they had never seen, I don't know if they had ever seen, okay, the school had Akorinos, but I don't know why they stared at us that much. I've never even figured out why, but every one of us experienced it in their classroom. I was the only Akorino in that class. My brother was the only Akorino in their classroom. My younger sister was the only Akorino. And then my youngest brother told us after now we went home, the kids were like pushing for him to sit with them. Ataka na mimi. And then the school was speaking in Kikuyu. Most students were speaking, like most pupils were speaking in Kikuyu. So it was a very dramatic change. From Parklands to Ndurarwa, it was very, very dramatic. I remember there was a time a younger boy, like I think he was in class 4. He came and he told me that he's going to squeeze my neck if I don't talk in Kikuyu. And then they used to call us, hey, Mokorino. They used to sing songs. They used to say the medallies that are Akorino-ish and all that. And then one day we told our dad, and our dad went and complained. And then the headmaster, she was a headmistress, she came and called us, kwa parade. At the parade, she called us and took us at the center and told the whole school, if you ever call these children Mokorino again, you will see the wrath of it. And then from that day, people were not even like teasing us as much. And during my growing up, while I was in primary school, I remember there was this day we were going with my mom. We were going to church with my brothers. And then my brothers were saying, nitatoa hii kitu. I'm going to remove this turban. I'm not going to live with it. Mimi siwezi kaa nayo nikikuwa mkubwa. Like, I will not live with it when I grow up. So they told me, go and tell mom. I went. We were walking ahead of her. So I went back and then I told her, Mom, nani anasema that watatoa vilemba wakikuwa, watatoa hizi kofia wakikuwa wakubwa. They're going to remove the turban when they grow up. And then my mom said, that is what they're saying. I will really feel bad, but it's okay. That thing broke my heart. I didn't even have the courage to go and tell them what mom said. And I felt like I wouldn't want to hurt her by removing the turban. And I felt like I wouldn't want to be a part of the kids, now us, the siblings, who are going to remove it because it would hurt her. And so from then, I decided, Mimi, I'm going to stay with it. If they remove it, that's on them. But Mimi, I'm going to stay with it. So we grew up. I went to high school. I went to a school called Kiriti Girls. It's in Muranga. I studied there. I cleared. High school was not as hard because I used to threaten people, tell them things that will threaten them. So that they don't have the curiosity of seeing my hair. You know, most times when you're growing up, the kids want to see how your hair looks like. So when they're playing, they'll try remove it. They'll try doing things that they're going to remove the turban and all. So I used to give them stories that would scare them for the sake of my own peace. I'll tell them, you see us, the Akorino guys, when we are having weddings, we do them kwa mashamba. So we do them uko kwa gardens. So usually what happens is the bride, we use a tractor to go and take her. No, I used to make it look like we are, our shamba. Our to old school kabisa. So I used to make them feel like these guys are very old school. So I used to tell them, no, we go take the bride and then we go with the tractor. She's picked up and then she's brought and then we do the wedding there. And then other things I'll tell them is the moment you remove my turban, hey, your eyes are gone. If you see my hair, your eyes are gone. If you remove them with your hands, those hands are going to bend. The fingers are going to bend. Okay, and then I'll go to them and then tell them, toa, jaribu, remove and see. So they would get really scared. I remember there was this particular day.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I had stayed for long without combing my hair. Actually, I never used to comb my hair. I never loved combing hair. So I used to keep it very unkept. So this particular day, I felt, let me just wash my hair and, comb it and all that. So I told them, leo nataka kuchana nywele. Hey! Everyone went inside their beds and covered their heads. And they were like, where? Hey, apana, don't remove it while you're here. Usitoe. It was very funny. And then I told them, hakuna kitu itafanyika. We are no where you're going to remove the turban when we are singing. So I went to another cube. My cube mates refused for me to comb the hair while they are singing it. So I went to another cube where I combed my hair. So yeah, my high school was very, very, very kind of dramatic but fun. I think from a very young age, because I was very artistic from a very young age. I started doing things regarding art when I was very young. I remember when I was in class 5, just to go back. There was another guy who was working at our school, and he used to look at me and tell me and sing to me, "Gashari negwadete kamami negwadete. Ona wajigwera weiru negwadete." That song means Gashari negwadete. It means njeri na kupenda na. Hata ukinisikia wivu na kupenda. That's in Swahili, and then in English it means Njeri, I love you and na. Even if you're, I think wivu ni it's jealous. Even if you feel jealous, I don't know what, I love you. So he'd sing that song to me. He used to work at a radio station called Shoro FM. It was a Kikuyu, a vernacular station. So he told me, I want to take you there. I want you to be part of our show. I didn't know Kikuyu. No, us who are born in these urban centers. I never used to know Kikuyu very well, but my mom, during that week, my mom taught me to read in Kikuyu and all that. So she took me to the radio station. I didn't pass well. So I was very artistic. Where I took you back is because I was very artistic while I was in high school and primary school. And I think that is what made me gel well with other students. It didn't look awkward. I could easily fit in because, if you're able to dance, if you speak good Swahili, if you're good in class, if you're a prefect, I was a prefect every time. Every school that I went, I was made a prefect. Maybe ni juu ya kitambaa. People believe people with turban so much. Actually, those days, nowadays, I don't know. But during our upgrowing days, people used to believe guys with the turban so much. So I had talked about growing up at a place called Luakabete. And growing up there, I remember I've grown up my whole life there. We moved when I was very big. So growing up with other kids, playing around with other kids, it was very easy. The kids that were around didn't see us as different as them. We didn't have many neighbors per se because the houses were sort of standalone. So the kids around, it was very easy playing around with them. And I don't think we ever encountered the hardship of you're treated differently because you're Akorino. I don't think we ever encountered such. And then for the church that we used to go, it was an Akorino church. So the kids there, you are the same. School was the place where things used to matter. You are Akorino. When Mokorino? They used to call us that. Hey, Mokorino. Hey. And then in class, when they're doing their medhalis, they look for the one that is going to target you. Such medhali. I used to hate those mavitendawili na medhalis. I used to hate them. And then they look at you and laugh. I think the hardest place was school. School was, especially primary school. And then the primary school that I'm talking about, it's Ushago, let me say village. So the children there, they are visualized. I don't even know the English words. Yani ni watoto Ushago. And so they will treat you, they will not be as easy as the kids in Parklands Primary School. If it's washing, maybe they'll come. When you're playing football, they'll target that turban. You see, like my brother, they used to target his cape. And then when Ana gonga your ball, he makes sure that he's going to hit the kofia and then they laugh. When you're playing skipping rope, they'll intentionally you're skipping and then they'll make sure akakakitapa lazima kaende chini leo. This turban must come off. I used to be very dramatic. There was this particular day, they hit my kakofia. When you're growing up, you wear a kakofia. It's different from the turban. I took my sweater and then I was I was very dramatic. It's as if if you see my head, and then everyone came running to cover me because you're very dramatic and you have given them all sorts of ideas so that they don't ever think of removing the kofia. There you needed to guard yourself. You needed to come up with every story that they have had, every myth, you support it with everything that you've got. If they've ever been told that, oh, when you see their head, you're going to shrink. You're going to, hey, you're going to star on that. If you see my head, I'm telling you without a doubt, wewe na maisha yako, you're going down. So when the turban would come off, I would be very dramatic. And then they would come, all of them. They're laughing, yes, but they're covering you because you're also showing them that something bad has happened. So growing up, I think primary school for me was the one that was quite challenging. For high school, I now remember. High school was hard when we went for now this, maybe it's other schools, funkies, when we'd go for funkies, when we'd go for those, entertainment and all those games and all that. It was hard. It was painful. Imagine you've gone to a boys' school. Every girl, left, right, and center, they are being talked to by these boys. And then you are left standing there. I remember this particular day, I was standing with my friend. I was holding her hand. And then a guy just came and took her. I was left standing there. Guy, Mbaka even went to the school bus. Now you go wait outside the school bus. You wait for the funky to end before you get someone to talk to you. You're not even asking for a relationship. Just talk to me. It was a place whereby you even feel like, am I not beautiful? Am I what's up? Especially when I was in Form 1. The first time a guy ever spoke to me, I was in Form 3. You can imagine. And I never missed the funkies. I went for all drama festivals, music festivals, CU, games, because I used to run. So you can imagine Science Congress. I was part of Science Congress. So you can imagine all those funkies. The first time I ever talked to a boy was in Form 3. And why he spoke to me was because this particular day there was cultural something in their school. And so our school had gone. And then we were supposed to dance. During that week back at school, we rehearsed a lot. I used to be a very good dancer. So I taught them the styles that you're going to dance and all that. So when we got there, they don't want to dance, the one that we rehearsed. They want to go and shake their bum-bums there. So me, I wouldn't do that. For me, that was a big omen. Shaking my nyash? For who? Never. So I felt so bad and I told God, Mungu saidie hiyo kitu ikwame. So they went and said the song that they are going to be played for. And I told God, I pray that this thing doesn't work. Who tells you that it won't work? Hi, it didn't work. So they had to play the song that we rehearsed. And who told you that I will not run and rescue them because they don't even remember the styles? And then we started dancing. So from that, I think the guys started seeing someone different, someone they could approach, someone that they could talk to. You know, when you're Akorino, people think, especially when we were growing up, you're very rigid, you're back, I don't know, mshamba, you don't know things. Maybe they'll come talk to you and you'll be like, in the Bible, the word of God says, don't, thou shall not come near me. It seemed like that. But after that, now people started approaching me. So that particular day, I got one guy who spoke to me. And then we started now, at least they started after this, when I would go for other funkies, they would talk to me. I would even get girls saying there was a guy maybe who asked for you and went for a funky. Yeah, and we even exchanged numbers. So from that experience, like after now the guys started coming and talking to me and all that, I felt like I felt so good. And I felt like, to some extent, I was kind of affected by that. And so my self-esteem was now at least raised kidogo. Even if I didn't have a very low self-esteem, but now you can imagine not being talked to and wondering, Kwani, what is wrong with me? As in, am I not beautiful? When you're growing up, you're very cautious about how you look. That is the time when your tuhipis are coming out, your boobies are growing, And then you're like, Connie, these people are not seeing me or something. Am I not beautiful? Amber, what's wrong with me? So when they started talking to me, it confirmed that clearly I'm normal. I'm like these other people. We can have conversations. And the funny thing is, when you're at home, it doesn't feel like that. When you come to school, it feels like that. Because these are the people that you're engaging with. So I finished school. Now I joined a group. It was a group that was going to high schools, and they were doing oral literature and oral skills. But now for us, for that group, you were particularly doing oral skills. Oral skills includes, we would act poems, would act things like songs, types of songs, would act stories, type of stories. We do the vitendawili, these proverbs and all that. Now there, it was even crazier. You have gone to those schools. There's a part where you're supposed to act with a trouser. Remember the way you've grown up. You've grown up knowing you're not supposed to wear a trouser. You've grown up knowing these are the only clothes you're supposed to wear, pleated clothes. But it got to a point you feel like, ima pleats na imezidi. So, you can imagine growing up, the church doesn't allow you to wear trousers. You're not allowed to plait your hair. You're not allowed to pierce your ears. You're not allowed to wear clothes that are not pleated. You're not allowed to apply nail polish. You're not allowed to do anything that involves makeup and all that. So that is seen as a Jezebel kind of thing. Not trousers, like makeup, my piercings, all that. I think the only time that we wore trousers when we were very little kids. Very small kids. But growing up, in high school, and no, I don't remember wearing trousers. Apart from bloomers. Remember my bloomers? This is high school. Those were my trousers. So I have joined this group. I'm supposed to wear at least a trouser because I'm like, it's acting and I'm representing a girl that is from the town and that is how she wears and I'm supposed to act something. So all through, and I had actually started wearing clothes that are not pleated without my mother's knowledge. Taskia hii anguke chini. Without my mother's knowledge. She had not allowed us to wear things that are not pleated. If you know what pleats means, if you don't know, just Google pleated skirts or pleated dresses, you'll see. Right now, they're trending. But during those days, you guys never wanted to see us. We looked so ashambas. But right now, you are trending on those things. We'd go. And then when I'm acting, you see, you've not seen me with such. And then out of the blues, I come with that cut trouser and I'm acting and I'm all bougie and all that. And the kids would go crazy. I would wear the jeans and then I'd wear a cap because I also don't want you to see the hair. It's not allowed. Usually the hair is supposed to be seen by your husband, but not anyone else. Maybe your siblings when you're growing up and all that, but anyone from your family, but not outside. So I'd get in, have a cap on, and then my trousers and all that and do the thingy. And then children will go like, the students will be like, hi, and then others will be like, hi, uni Akorino kweli. They would question if I'm an Akorino. Can you imagine? Is she supposed to be wearing like this? So people would question if I'm an Akorino because of how I'm acting and because of how I'm dressed. They would not look at the talent now. They would look at how you're dressed. It will go beyond now the talent. And so for me, I never used to like it. But I'd rub it off because I think those were the things that kept me going, like believing in myself, believing in the talent that God has given me, and overlooking the fact that I had a turban. If I ever sat down and thought of myself with a turban, I would have never done the things I did when I was young. Some point, I dropped because I was going to join campus. And when I joined campus, life was just funny. When you're in school, it's so hard. When you're outside, because you're with your siblings and your friends, it's not hard. But school was just hard. Campus, here comes campus. Hi. Everyone is looking at you like, who you? Is she supposed to be here? Do you know the first time I ever entered that entertainment wherever space, where campuses have got that space. The first time I ever entered was during my second semester. My first semester, I never entered that room. I would go to class, stay by myself. When we are done with the class, I go. I'll come back the next class. You will not see me. You will not know where I've gone. I didn't want to have friends. The only person I used to speak to was our class representative, and it's because I could not evade her. I was given a number when I was joining the school. And so we became friends. She's actually the one that told me, come, we go to, I think it was, can't remember what it was called, that his space of entertainment. And guys never used to talk to, I don't know what is wrong with guys. Guys never used to talk to me. Even in class, they'll greet you, but it's like, eh? It's, you don't even understand. Aye, where is it? And then during that period, I was in a dance group. So I'm telling you, life is going outside. But inside there, when you're in school, it's like life is just not happening. So I was in a group of dancers, and I was the only chick in that group. That also was crazy. When you go for those, maybe you're called for a gig, you're called for an interview. We did very many interviews. I think because we were Akorino and we were dancers. So we went to very many media stations. And let me tell you, people used to ask, "Ay, how are you Akorino? Hey, are these Korinos? Hey, how are they dancing? How can they dance like this?" Hey, it's as if... it's just weird. So when I talk about feeling like you're at home outside, but you feel like it's weird when you're in school, the friends that I had, they were Korinos. Like 90% were Korinos. My siblings, the guys that we were going to church with, and then these other people, these other friends that are not Korinos, they're the ones that you've met maybe in school, and they've seen you beyond the Akorino. And they can even fight for you. You see, I had friends that would fight for me. If you call me Akorino kwa barabara, we ndo utadhani niye umeita. You'll think you've called them. Unamuita nini? And they will support you. So I had very few friends that are not Korino. And those ones are the ones that have seen you. Like, they've seen what you can do. They can see you're just a normal human being. And they understand you. But these other people, especially when you meet someone new, even when I joined campus the second time, when I went to St. Paul's, my closest friend right now, she thought I was a mother of I don't know how many kids. And she was like, oh, mama, because I did evening classes. So when I joined class and I was like, Unaweza nisaidia, can you assist me with your notes? And then later on, she told me that she was thinking, the husband has decided to bring her to school. Oh, you're mother of something. I don't know how many kids. The turban used to make you look like you're so old. So it was kind of crazy in school. I remember even at St. Paul's, because I schooled at St. Paul's, even getting a group where you can work together. Unless you're very good, you would not gel in. And I'm very vocal. So it's easy, for me it's easy to gel because I'm very vocal. And when it comes to presentation, I will present very easily, very efficiently. So people would want me in their group. But if you're a quiet person, hata depression itakugonga uko kwa Korino. But now, outside now with your fellow Korinos, and us, I think we have grown in these town areas. So we never saw ourselves different with other people. The way we spoke, I think also the way we spoke, most people will tell you'd go, maybe you're at a stage, you're waiting for the matatu, and then when you're talking, they're like, ai, hao ni Wakorino wanaongea sheng. And it would look like you're not even supposed to know sheng. Sheng is slang in Swahili. Hey! And people would be mesmerized when they hear us talking. But for us, it wasn't a big deal or anything of that sort. So yeah, I went to campus, and then I was in this group, and we pushed. That dance group, we pushed. That one was the toughest because we were fought from church, we were fought outside church. People from outside would fight us like, are they Korinos? Why are they dressed like that? Because if you'd see us, we never used, okay, my brothers, because as I say in my plates, but my brothers, they would dress very urbanish. And then in church, they would say we are doing worldly things. Why are we involving ourselves with the things of the world? Why are we being seen on TV? Why are we exposing us? Hey, Kwanzaa, let me tell you, this particular day, one of us was doing a wedding. And then her wedding,
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
was with an Akorino, the first ever seen. Ha! Let us begin with his Nan Akorino. Why? 2, he's not Kikuyu. Why? With capital. What are these? Hey. So we planned the wedding. You know, as I think my family, my siblings, but I don't know if it's by God's grace. I don't know what I can say. We are very tough. We are very confident. We don't fear saying what we think. And most people find it offensive. I've seen it. Most people look at us and they think we are proud. But it just comes naturally. Like, you can't tell us to do something that is not right and we will not talk about it, will not speak it out loud. So we planned the wedding. And remember, most of us are in campus. So the much money that would remove kwa hiyo committee was 100, 150, 50 bob. There were days we just go and plan. We don't even have the money. But we pushed and the wedding happened. So during the wedding, we said we are going to have an evening party. Evening party, we are going to wear white, all white. Hey, let me tell you, we didn't even hold the evening party. It was chaos. We were supposed to have the evening party, but we didn't. So we had a photo shoot instead. And then we wore some. I know most people have seen that photo. It trended. It trended a lot. Where that photo brought stories, chaos. It brought from outside, from inside. The church, people from the non-Akorinos and the Akorinos. Yeah. Particularly, there was 3 of us who were seen like, sasa sisi ndio tumeharibu mambo. For me, I had worn a short dress, not very short, below the knee, but it was sort of open kidogo. It had a lace, and then a lace here. And the fact that it was tight. Having tight dresses during those years, it was... You see, nowadays, you see Akorino, you see their nyashas. Those days, my guys, it was a taboo. I'm telling you, that photo brought drama. We were called for a meeting to go. The bishop, the elders of the church, both women and men, the youth pastor, the youth leader was also there, the chairman and the chair lady, and then us and our parents now. We were called to explain why. Why did we wear those clothes? And we discussed, we asked for forgiveness, they prayed for us, and we were forgiven for wearing tight clothes. Well, okay, we had seen the future. Nowadays, I don't know who is praying for this, for the ones that are wearing tight clothes. But yeah, we asked for forgiveness, and we were prayed for. And yes, and life continued. And then these other churches, we could hear, we were being told that the youths from other churches were being told not to interact with us. We are going to, spoil them. I'm talking of Akorino churches now, the churches that the kids were being told. These other ones, I don't know. Because these other churches really were, what are they? The only thing they'd say is, Sisi Akorino. You see? Hey, they will actually, let me tell you, the people that talk a lot, they are non-Akorino. They don't understand. They never, the only thing they know is what they have had before, or the Akorinos they've experienced in their lives. So people will talk. Will I say judge? Let me say talk. Others judge, that's fine, but let me say talk. People will talk based on how they have had, what they have had, how they've grown knowing, and time. Like, the way we used to do things and the way we're doing them right now, it's very different. The sort of Akorino you used to see, right now you're not seeing those Akorinos right now, is it? I believe it's not. Even us, there are some that we are shocked and we are part of them. And yeah, so it has to happen. Whether they liked it or not, it had to happen. And so that was just drama upon drama. But yeah, we continued with the church, and for her, she was not, the bride was not there during the meeting, because now she's married. She's not even part of Akorino. You see, now you're married to an Akorino, you joined their church and all that. And so yeah, we continued. I cleared university, and then I got married. I also got married to an Akorino, but we broke up. Like 3 years later, we broke up.
Catch more African stories in the next episode of Legally Clueless. That is part 1 of Karima's story. Part 2 is going to be out next Monday. So make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast streaming app you're listening to this episode on, so that you do not miss it. I met Karima at an event some time back, and she came up to me as we were queuing for food, or I think I was getting someone to get me more bacon. Anyway, she came to me and she was just like, hey, I really want to be on your podcast. I was born into the Akorino faith, and so many things have happened, and I'm giving you a spoiler from part 2, and I've since left, etc. Anyway, I was so intrigued by the things she told me that I got one of our correspondents to link up with her and record her story. And so many things I connected with just in part 1. All right. The first is how she used performance and creativity to protect herself. And by protecting herself, I mean protect her identity and make it come alive, like dance and being able to step out of an identity that she found already curved for her when she was born to one that she was discovering. I just find that creativity and the arts have just this ability to help you come back home to yourself. And I really identified with that, because that's what poetry is for me. The second thing I identified with was how hard it is to stop centering other people's pain, especially people you love, like your mother, right? So centering them in the decisions you make for your life. And there's just like always this internal conflict of choosing you versus choosing the you that maybe the people you care about think you still are or want you to be. Does that make sense? I just feel like that's an internal conflict a lot of us face in various ways. But what I can say, always choose yourself. Those who truly love you will come around and they will respect that. Those who don't really align with whatever choosing you looks like, most of the time it has nothing to do with you. It's probably they're projecting their own value system, their own worldview, their own fears sometimes, but always just choose you. Tap into that Karima clarity and courage, you know? Anyway, part 2 is going to be out next week. But in the meantime, I want to hear what you connected with. So drop it in the comments wherever you're listening to this episode on. And trust me, you want to be here for part 2. It goes so much deeper into like reclaiming womanhood and just spiritual unlearning and what it truly means to finally choose yourself. Thank you so much for listening to this episode to the very, very, very end. I truly appreciate you, and I believe that you have everything it takes to heal. That's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.